And we'll also get some eyes into what's happening over there. Oh, son of... What are you doing in my ship? Welcome everybody to Falcon Plays Duskers, episode number 4 of our little revisiting so far. I'm hoping you guys have had a good time so far with it. I certainly have had a blast so far revisiting, especially because I feel I play a little bit better now than I did the first time around, albeit some mistakes are indeed made, but at the same time I'm learning from those mistakes so far. And hey, at the very least we haven't lost any drones just yet, which is the most important part here. This will also be the last recording of this series. Well, not really the series just yet, but this little session here today, this will be the last recording, meaning if you want me to go beyond episode 4, which is, today, let me know in the comments by leaving me a like and a comment, and I will do so. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here, but at the very least, I hope you've, had some fun watching me play this here so far, and also learned a little bit more from the updates that they've done from the first episode, or from the first time we checked out the series itself. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Let's get underway over here. We have Duncan's Folly to go to, which is going to be a fuel depot, 2 infestation types, 199 years old. 199. I didn't say 99, I said 199. Distance 2 and visited false. Right. So we have 4 propulsion jumps left over. We want to hit this one up for a fact, this rebel station, which might be kind of really scary, but it's okay. Oh, this requires a transporter. I'm not sure we even have that. Outpost requires transporter. What's an outpost? Is this an outpost? This is a Stargate. Huh. Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge once we get there. Right now, we want to come here to Duncan's Folly first, right? I already took the time to fix up Mouse, so he's at 117 of 130. We got to make sure he doesn't get hurt this time around, now that we know how aliens kind of work out. Everybody else is pretty much good to go, so let's go into Duncan's Folly. Jump over there. We have 2 more left over for this jump over here. So let's go into Boomski, and we have Brennan still hanging out over in the background. We don't necessarily want to scrap them just yet, but if we get a good amount of money, or scrap anyway, money, scrap, same thing, we will try to fix them up and we could have 4 drones running around, but for now I think 3 is more than enough. Let's go ahead and board the ship. There's also no new logs, so that's the reason why I haven't paid attention to the logs just yet. Alrighty, so everything else is corrupted. We have hull integrity good, which is fine. We have 2 infestation types, which might mean, robots and aliens, so again, aliens are quite scary, dangerous, so we definitely want to avoid them as much as possible. So Mouse, let's start off over here, buddy. And more than likely, now that things are getting a bit more difficult, we might want to use lore a bit better as well. So, my lord, that's a long... Oh my god, that's one long-ass corridor. You know what? Let me turn on... I don't think we'll... Oh, we found Vinny. How you doing, Vinny? I don't think we'll find any enemies here, but just in case, let me stealth up just in case, because I'd rather play it safe. There's a door open down here, too. That doesn't feel too safe. Interface over here. Okay, great. And we're still in stealth, so let's actually take a little perusal down here, too. My lord. 2 long-ass corridors. You know why I like corridors? Because normally, when it comes to maneuvering around enemies, it could be a little bit of a problem. So we're going to definitely have to use lore a bit more better. A bit well. A bit good. Got to do it more good. No, it's not more good, it's more well, Falcon, right? You're right. Okay, so we're out of stealth here. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure we're fine. We have 2 interfaces, as a matter of fact. So this is going to be a big-ass ship. I said big-ass ship, not shit. I mean, you can pretty much make the argument for both of them, but hey, you know what, Mouse? Can you, get out of here? Cursor? Thank you. I don't even need you for this game. So we're fine over here. Let's start off by getting Vinny off of this ship here. My cousin Vinny, right? Marissa Tomei. Still a fox, dog. It doesn't matter how old Marissa Tomei gets. She never really ages, really. It's always hottie. No matter what. Let's see. Marvin, let's move you on over here. And yes, I did first learn of Marissa Tomei through Seinfeld. George Costanza's big crush on her. But that's because, I watched Seinfeld religiously growing up. And then, I eventually saw classical movies with Marissa Tomei. But either way, I was kind of like, hey, hot chick. Can't be wrong. Can't doubt George, man. Alright, so let's move Vinny in here. Oh, you know what? Vinny, let's find out if you have anything of value right now that I could probably use first. You have Gather, which is something not of value that I need. So, for now, we just move your ass onto the back of the ship, my friend. There you go. Tow on out of here. Okay. We have found out that enemies can indeed get into your ship, and you can move them to another area as well, which was really comically learned an episode or 2 ago, and it was also kind of terrifying at the same time, but it's good information to have. So let's start off with gathering. We only have one gathering area here. So I guess we'll start off with Nathan powering up this area here first. So generate up. Perfect. Now we can get into D17, D21. R5 is available to us too. We know there's a docking station in R2. Now what could be a really good idea is maybe redocking ourselves over to A3 with my stealth dude, just to make sure that R2 is fine. If it's not fine, then we'll know. If it is fine, we could just start moving down there without much of an issue. So we'll probably do that here soon. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Hang out here. What? A2 is no longer responding. What's A2? A2 is a dock, which we have not uncovered just yet. Oh, that's unfortunate. So one of the docks has been now made inaccessible to us. Alrighty. So go ahead and do a gather all in this room, and we'll send you over to R4 afterwards and have you do that one over there too. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's do the interface. So interface, and there's defenses in this ship. Good. So you know what? Oh, we have to power them up first. Right. Indeed. Okay. I don't think it's going to work because it doesn't tell me, but let me do a ship scan. No, it doesn't work. Alright. As expected. As expected. Let's bring you down over here then. Have you do a gather all here. There is an upgrade here too, I just realized that. Let me hang out with the interface here first and then we'll do this upgrade that we found here. Interface. Oh, it's not powered up, so we have to bring Homeboy down here to power this one up. Alrighty. Well, what is it? What are you supposed to be? Power inlet. Ooh, for the ship. Perfect. Oh, no. This is power inlet. Use interface to access. Ship upgrade is empty. Oh, it's already empty. It's already been taken. Okay. Not a big problem. So, let's go ahead and test out my theory with the R2 room with mouse. So, we'll turn off D25 here for now. Jesus, D25. That's a shit ton of doors in this fucking ship. And Marvin, you don't have to move all the way over here, but I feel more secure doing that. Mouse, we'll have you jump over to the next docking station then. Alrighty, wish me luck there, fellas. Vinny, you're gonna come along with it, I guess. Cool. That's fine, Vinny. We're gonna jump over to A3. Alrighty. So, this will give us an idea as to what's happening here. Now, we'll go into stealth. My only concern right now is if there is an enemy here, there's no way for me to escape. Is there? No, I can't get around. The only way I can get it around is by having, you know what? Before we have you stealth up, let's have Marvin and Nathan move over to the next room. I'm gonna have Nathan go ahead and generate power into this next room over, so we have a way to escape in case we have to. So this will be all turned off here for a while, which is fine. But what we want happening is have power in here just in case. So go ahead and do your generator up here. At the same time, we might as well use Marvin to get this interface up and running too, because we'll be powered up now. And maybe this gives us a ship scan as well. Nope. I can turn on defenses though if I wanted to. Let's give me a try. Let me give it a try. Nope. Powered turrets. Okay. Well then. At the very least, I now have a way for Mouse to flee either D27 or D14 if it comes down to it. So, they're locked here for now. Mouse, you're on deck, buddy. So, stealth and A3. Let's go for it. Scrap. Enemies. Yep, enemy indeed. Is he spotting me? I think he might be spotting me. Let me move over here for a second. Take a little break. Get your stealth back up. So, we know for a fact there's an enemy over there. I'm not sure what's in D14, however. And if I want to kill this guy, how would that work out? Could I just open up A3 and just kill him with the radiation without losing the scrap? Last time when we killed an enemy with the dock, we didn't lose the scrap. The scrap remained. But I'm not sure if it also counts for pre-existing scrap before you open it up. So that's my only issue there. Well. Gotta be a way to kill him, though. So, let me do stealth here again, and we'll do 8-3. You hang out there, that's fine. What I want to find out is what's in D14 as well. No enemy. Perfect. So, turn off stealth, and let's go ahead and close our ship doors. So he's going to hang out over there in R2, potentially, right? So we know he's in there. We now found out that this room is fine. We could also redock ourselves over to A7, which is, another possibility as well. I really want to get the scrap in there. I'm worried that opening the dock is going to suck all that out of there. So the way to do this is going to probably be to get him into R7. Although R7 does have a power terminal, so that might be connected to another turret somewhere else. And we're not sure what's beyond D13 too, which is another big problem. Huh. Okay. I could lure, as I mentioned, I could lure over here and just stick him in here. But if I stick him in here, we're basically boned out of that power inlet here, which we might need for later use. Alright, before we make that decision, let's go ahead and redock over to A7. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to redock over to A6 with mouse again, and we'll also get some eyes into what's happening over there. Oh, son of... What are you doing in my ship? Well, you know what? That works out quite well, because now... You know what's really funny about that? Now I know for a fact we could open up these doors and just gather freely. This jerk is in my ship now. I mean, we found out they could do that, but I thought that they had to be like, like a beta to it, like you basically, they followed you in there. I had left that area, and then he was just like, oh, let me find out what's in the ship over here. What a jerk. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, albeit terrifying at the same time. But, we know where he's at, which is fine, because now Marvin can just open up this room and gather freely. So, let's do that here. Alrighty. So, now how I want to play this out meanwhile is I want to find out what's beyond D13. It's going to probably be like another corridor room, but I think it might be imperative to do so, although if I move you out of here, it's going to close up, isn't it? Yeah. So, how to play this one out? Well, here is what we can do. As a matter of fact, if we move and Nathan over here, we're going to lose power over here, right? But he'll then go ahead and power up the rooms over here, the doors, and we can find out what's beyond D16 this way. So, this is fine. I think this is fine. We'll do a generator through here. We know that guy's over there. So now we have access to R8 over here. As a matter of fact, we can even access it through A1. So that might not be the worst idea I've had. Everything else, as you can see, is opened. So whatever we do, we got to make sure we don't let it out of R8. So, mouse. Let's go for this one. I'm worried about all the doors. I should have probably closed one of these doors behind me before I depowered up this area. But I guess we've committed to it now. Worst case scenario, I open up that dock and just fry whatever's in here. Stealth, and let's open up D17. Oh, alien! Alien! Okay. Aliens in R8. Now, the upside... I got an idea. I got a perfect idea. As long as they're in there, they're boned. We kind of peeked in there and we saw nothing, right? I mean, it would have probably shown up on our menu the moment we popped in there. So I got a perfect idea here. Here's what we do. We want to get that enemy out of my ship into R7. We open up those two doors and we radiate the entire area. So... here's what I mean. We're going to do here... oh, as a matter of... oh, to do that, though... oh... how would this work out? Because if I move you out of here, it's going to depower up these rooms, which is I need them powered up. We'd have to go all the way back to R3 then, wouldn't we? Yes, kind of. No? This is interesting. Yeah, because that's going to power down everything over here. Well, since we're done in R2, I guess we could just dump off the enemy in our ship back in R2 and just forget about R2 completely. I think that's one way to play it out. So, for instance, Nathan over here, you're going to go ahead and generate here for a second. Marvin, bring you up back to D27. What we're looking for, essentially, is to get rid of that guy. Oh, you know what? D13's over here. Oh, well, obviously it would be open. That's where the alien's at. Okay. So, here's how we play this out. Mouse, you're fine here. As a matter of fact, everybody seems fine. We just want to get him out of my ship. So, we close off D14. We dock over to A3. Dock over to A3, I said. Oh, it's... there it goes. And... should be down there. Let's open up A3. And hopefully he leaves the goddamn ship finally. Oh, no, Nathan, you have to stay on that. Marvin, can you see this guy through here? I need him out of my ship. So... door's been open for a bit now. He should be out of there at this point, so we'll close that up again. And... what I think we can do is we could now, possibly, to find out if he's there or not, move over to dock A1. And we'll have D25 closed off here for now. Mouse. We're going to finally peer into R6. So, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to peer into this one, and worst case scenario, we circle around, right? Yeah. So stealth, D12. There's a vent here. Vent monsters is no good. We have a dock, but at least this room is now empty other than the vent situation here. We still have a little bit more, so let's do D24 as well. Any enemies? Any enemies? This is risky, mind you now, but... oh, we're fine here too. Great. Close D24 in case we get the aliens to come out of the vents. And same with D12. So hey, we know now for a fact R9 and R6 are cleared up. There's a missile, or at least a defense drone over here in R9. So if that dude happens to be in our spaceship, yeah, we could redock over to A4, have him funnel out there and just kill him with the turret as well. So that's another way to kind of go about that one. Okay, that's great. So, Mouse, you're going to be hanging out over here for a while on your own. Now, in order to do that, we need to more than likely get into that interface over there. So, let's find out what's through D11 now. D24, open this up. And stealth, D11. No enemies apparently, but there's an interface module here, so that's fine. But no enemies, no enemies? Yeah! Okay. No enemies. Get out of stealth. Close the 11 behind you. So that's fine. All we have now is R5 left over, and whatever's beyond R8 and D18 as well. Or D8 and R18. Or D18, whatever. D's are same thing, okay? We have a module over here too. So what we need to do now is just move Nathan over to R3 and power everything up over here. So we can... oh, shit. Hold on. Before we do that, we need to power up, or at least open up D25. There you go. Now, of course, I'm over here working under the impression that the robot got out of my spaceship. If he's still in there, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We have a way to kill him now, but I'm working under the impression he's out of there now. He's stuck in the bottom rooms now. So, let's have Marvin follow suit over through here. I can probably close this off now. So this is cool. R5 is now available to me, which is great. That's what I was hoping for. What I need to do now is... I could go over to interface over there, maybe? Yeah, I guess we could do that, but don't really need to. Okay, if we want to completely make sure that that robot is dead or not, here's what we do. Marvin, open up D23. This should potentially let us activate that turret up there. Interface. It's not powered. Shit. How do I power this one? There's no other, like, inlet over here that's nearby to say that would be it, unless there's one in R5, but, I mean, why would the one in R5 not power up the one from R3 as well? Ah, whatever. So we can't, unfortunately, work that one out, as I was hoping it would. Alrighty, so you hang out over here. Marvin, let's get you back in this room, and I'm gonna go ahead and stealth up with mouse and look into the R5 room. So, worst case scenario, we draw out whatever's in here into R10 and we just sneak into R5 and then close the door behind us. So we'll stealth up, we'll use D9, and... no enemies? No enemies, but there's an interface, cool. Stealth, and we're fine now. But, since we're here, we might as well just make sure everything is going to be cleared up. Get this out of the way now. So we could do D8 right now and D18 afterwards, and any sort of issue, we just run back to R10 and circle around. So, stealth up again. D8. Red interface? Why is that one red? This is the door that got jacked up earlier, right? Huh. D5 is out of power, so we can't access that one either. Interesting. Let me come in here and get out of stealth for a second. So, R11 is accessible through D21 now too, so that's okay. D15 we're not sure. Hopefully D15 does link up to D18 so we have a way to get in there. Otherwise we are going to be a bit lost in that one. So we'll do stealth again. We want to do D18. Power inlet. There's another docking station here. Any enemies? Any enemies? No. Alrighty, we're done. Hooey! So all of these interfaces are broken, however. And there's no more stuff to scan, apparently. So we'll stealth up. Let me do a scan here. Power inlet and access terminal, which has been destroyed. Right. Let me do a scan in here. Oh, we found some scrap. So with the scan, we can actually find some hidden scrap just in case, too. So we can do the interface scan, or the ship scan with the interfaces. We could at least do it this way. Nothing in here. And I guess we'll check out D22. Give me a scan through this one. Oh, nice. Good amount of scrap here, and this one. Now, for the most part, we're done, other than the fact that we're not sure if the robot is still in our ship or not. So for now, we gather everything over here. If he's in there, though, I'm going to just flush him out somewhere, and we'll radiate him. He just needs to get the hell out of there, and we'll be fine. So more than likely, what I'm even thinking is we use A1 as our way to get him out of there. So for instance, we'll just move you over to D22 here for now. Gather all on this one. D22 has to be closed off. D9 has to be open for now. And then Nathan's going to power down everything over here by doing that. This is why the second generator would actually have been pretty good to keep around. Yeah. Oh well. No biggie. So you guys come over here. You know what? You know what? We can just power up from up here. There's the inlet over here, so unless I don't think this one's been destroyed. So generator up through here, right? We can't use that interface, but that's okay. Now we could probably even, lure from the other side, A4, which is fine. Okay. This works out even better. Alright, we finally figured it out here. It's like a big puzzle, you know, like a big Rubik's Cube. How do I move this over here, move that over there? So this is ideal. Now we could essentially have mouse, in case there's a dude in there, lure him out, and we could just outspeed him over there to A23. And just lure him out. That's all I really want to do. If he's not in there anymore, then we're fine. Doesn't look like he's in there anymore, though, but whatever. Let's go into stealth. A1. He was gone already. All that work for nothing. Whatever. Better safe than sorry. So dock over to A5. All that work, this is basically just me, these extra like 5 minutes or so, just me basically trying to make sure he was out of that thing, and if he wasn't there, how to play it out. But no, there was absolutely no need for it. But, you know, at least I feel more secure doing it this way. So 2 and 3 navigate over to R1. They'll be coming in here pretty soon. We got everything in here for the most part. Yeah. The only thing we didn't do is just kill that guy, but that's okay. You don't have to kill everything all the time, Falcon. Playing it safe is more than enough. Exit on out of here. Alrighty, that was a big ship, but hey, we got it done. We got 9 scrap only from this one. We have 35 of 50 now. Days survived 22. And we got Vinny as well, my cousin Vinny. Perfect. Alright guys, we're going to wrap it up here for today. This will probably be the last episode if we don't go further from this point, so I guess all I'm going to say is hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments, and by leaving a like, and we will go forward. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here. If we go forward, we do have the Wangare to look forward to, assuming I could even get in there because it requires a transporter, which I don't think we have. But either way, we'll cross that bridge as we get there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up. I will catch you next time.